ensuring child and adolescent care and protection, engendering youth empowerment, and enhancing brand Jamaica. Some of the areas of focus for the Ministry of Youth and Culture in 2014, and from all indications, targets set were achieved and even surpassed in some areas.
Focused, strategic, and deliberate. We cannot and we will not leave it to chance.
With a budget of $1.7 billion, the Youth and Culture Ministry, headed by the Honorable Lisa Hanna, made several long-term investments to improve conditions for children and adolescents in need of care and protection. Among them, a review of the 2004 Child Care and Protection Act and the Adoption of Children Act to harmonize them with the Trafficking in Persons Act. The process was completed following a series of national consultations. Administratively, the ministry reviewed the licensing regime for the 50 privately run residential child care facilities on the island and started a $58 million three-year case management system to standardize child services.
And it will make it possible to track a child from entry into the system until he or she leaves. The system will also allow for the seamless sharing of information between the CDA and other child-serving institutions.
While that was ongoing, work began to transform the Maxfield Park Children's Home into a model child care center. Construction on a therapeutic center for abused children also started in conjunction with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund in 2014. And to support the ministry's work, the Child Development Agency continued its parental assistance and training program.
We have impacted over 1,500 parents who have participated in the CDA Parenting Assistance Program so far, and we plan to go even further.
Children who come in conflict with the law were also targeted in 2014. The ministry constructed child-friendly spaces at police stations in Bridgeport, St. Catherine, Monique, St. Anne, and Barretttown in St. James. As for 16 to 18-year-old wards of the state who are preparing to exit state care, transitional living arrangements were finalized last year. In January, the ministry opened the 20-bed St. James-based My Father's House, and by late October, a $1.3 million exit readiness program was launched for 40 girls in government-run homes.
I am so pleased that this will be another addition in our ring of opportunities to quell their anxiety, because there's nothing worse than an insecure woman who is anxious going into a society having to fend for herself. She gets into trouble.
Another child agency, the Office of the Children's Registry, also made strides in 2014. At the start of the year, the OCR opened a parish office in Westmoreland, revamped its website, and developed a rescue protocol for Ananda Alert volunteers to use before, during, and after a search and rescue operation for a missing child. In addition to conducting school tours and sensitization sessions, the OCR selected 9 child ambassadors to serve children across the island. And there was good news from the Office of the Children's Registry. The number of children reported missing declined by 19% in the first 6 months of 2014 when compared to the year before.
We believe the fact that less children are going missing means our messages are having an impact. However, we remain conscious that the fact that we must work assiduously to improve the rate of recovery of missing children.
Empowering our young people by creating favorable conditions for them to develop their talents and actively participate in the labor market is essential for the economic and social development and for achieving our vision and our goals for Vision 2030.
As such, the ministry set aside $435 million to the National Youth Service to execute the task. Under the Access to Higher Education Partnership Program, $15 million in scholarships went to 150 students at 3 tertiary institutions in 2014. Scholarship recipients are currently pursuing studies in logistics, agriculture, information technology, engineering, and tourism.
As a tech generation that we serve, we want you to become global producers taking a seat at the table rather than being marginalized consumers in a world without boundaries, so that every time you press your send button, it opens an opportunity.
The National Youth Services Empowerment Program was expanded in 2014 to include 100 people with disabilities. The Clarendon Youth Information Center was opened in the year, giving more young people access to information, training, and support. And what's more, work continued on the $40 million Youth Information Center in Hanover. In addition, 15,000 young people were engaged in more than 3,000 activities for their economic empowerment during Youth Month in November. Some 50 youth were trained as production assistants at the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. Another 4,772 benefited from the annual summer program, and more college graduates were employed through the Graduate Work Experience program. And to further entrench youth development and empowerment into society, a draft green paper on the National Youth Policy was reviewed and edited in 2014.
Advance yourself. As a ministry, we're here to help you. So call us, check our website at www.youthjamaica.com. Come in and see us. I am your minister and I'm here to serve you.
With efforts to maximize returns from the island's cultural and creative industries on in earnest, the National Culture Policy was revised to reflect the strategic development of the sector. The 2014 festival program was expanded to include 6 days of stellar events under the banner "This is Jamaica, My Jamaica," culminating in the annual Grand Gala celebrations at the National Stadium. To increase civic education, the Culture Ministry opened 2 new spaces, the National Gallery West in St. James and the National History Museum at the Institute of Jamaica. In 2014, Professor Mervyn Morris was named Poet Laureate, and 9 outstanding Jamaicans received Musgrave medals. And in a bid to raise the island's profile, the ministry successfully submitted the Blue and John Crow Mountains to become World Heritage Sites.
For us, the culture and creative industries gives us a solid global competitive advantage, and we're committed to utilizing it for the prosperity of our people.
With focused, strategic, and deliberate targets, in 2014, the Ministry of Youth and Culture continued to ensure that the empowerment of youth and the promotion of the culture sector are not left to chance, and that they contribute to national development.